Hi, how's it all going, everyone? Hope you all had a good Christmas. New Year's Eve today, so last little look at the plot this year. Just got here really, and just having a little look round, see what's going on. I've got a few little plans I want to do today. But I've got to apologise because I haven't got a microphone on, and it's really windy today. So hopefully you can still hear me all right. Oh yeah, I've got here the microphone battery had run out of power. I must have left it on last time I used it. But yeah, anyway, hope it doesn't detract from the video too much. But yeah, the broccoli here actually is because it's been so mild, I've actually got a few spears growing, which is pretty good. This one here looks quite good, so I perhaps have to get in here and pick some of that in a minute. So I want to take the cover off this broccoli today and well, not remove it, just open it one side and pop some compost under there, because this is the only bed I haven't really conditioned over the winter or protected it. Just looking, there's some more florets on that one there actually, so yeah, they're doing alright actually. So yeah, I want to take the net off this one today, get a bit of compost under there. That all depends on really if I've got enough compost what I can put into the middle bay here from this one. There should be some finished compost at the bottom here. I want to get whatever's on the top here into that one there. The temperature's still going alright. It's at about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, or well, it might be slightly different. That higher one there is 35 degrees Celsius. So it shrunk down a little bit more, got a bit more room to pop some more materials in. And I also want to cut down the raspberry canes today. So most of these on this side here are autumn flowering. There's I think it's a tayberry or loganberry or something in there as well. So I've got to be careful, don't just, chop it all down. But yeah, so these ones on this side, I don't know what variety they are because they're all on the plot before I got here. But I moved them over this side at the beginning of this year, I think. Something like that, I'll go back and check. But yeah, so autumn flowering up to this point here, up to the middle, and then all these ones over here are summer fruiting. So all I do with these, I don't trim these down, not these canes from last year, but the ones from the previous year. You can see they're sort of, you can tell the difference in colour between the one that I'm not going to cut down because it's from last year, and get the fruit on it for next year, and then this older one can just be trimmed out completely down to the bottom. But you have to be careful that you don't cut the wrong ones down, otherwise you won't get no fruit. But on the autumn ones you can cut these right down, all of them down to the ground if you like. And what I've done in the past is what someone told me. These old shoots here, which have got, you can tell, look here, where they've got the old raspberries on. They're flowering down to this point just here, out of this branch here. So what I could do is just trim them down to there, and then these shoots here will grow out in the spring, and you'll get a slightly early harvest from your autumn fruiting raspberries. I've done that a couple of times, but the only trouble is on these stems here, the growth of the leaves, they go all yellow, and it does look a bit sightly after a while. So most people just cut them right back down to the ground. But what I'm going to do is I'll do most of them down to the ground, but I'll probably leave one or two, and just see if I do get an earlier crop and see what the leaves look like. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chop these down first. I've got my loppers with me, so because they're quite long and they're quite tough, I'm going to snip them all down, get them into my big trug over here. I've got some loppers and some gloves, so I'll snip them all up in there as much as I can, and then I'll pop them in on top of here, and then empty some of this one, which has actually got a potato growing out of it at the moment. I'll empty some of this one into the middle one, and it's not really going to help increase the heat by much. It's probably just going to help insulate what's in there already really. But what I'll do, if I can get a decent amount of compost out of here to put in with the brassicas, rather broccoli, then in a week or so when this one has dropped out of that green zone, I'll turn it. I'll try and turn pretty much all of that one back into this one, and obviously checking for the moisture along the way. If it's still too damp, I'll probably will add some more leaves, but there's a lot of straw and sawdust and leaves in this one now, and so yeah, it should be good just to mix all back into this one. Anyway, I'll stop waffling. I'm going to crack on trimming the raspberry canes. Right, so best to chop them at a bud, above a bud, at a slight 45-degree angle. I don't know if you can hear me, the wind's actually not too bad now. But I'm going to chop all these ones near the edge, really low down to the ground, and I'll leave a couple up in the middle near the some fruiting ones to see what happens if I leave them a little bit longer. See if I do get a slightly earlier crop. Okay, so that's got most of the autumn flowering and fruiting, raspberries cut down. I've left 2 or 3 here, just on this edge, just so I can see what happens if I can get an earlier crop, and also show you what the leaves look like. They go a bit yellow, look like they've got chlorosis. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with them really, just chop them down and they produce again next year. But yeah, so that's got this side tidied up. Sorry about the wind, it's really choppy here today. So yeah, I've got all the dead canes and that in here. I did pull one little runner up what was going out through the wood chip here. So it's nice and deep with wood chip, there's not too much weeds in there, it's just a bit of couch grass, which is an absolute nightmare. But what I'm going to do now with these with these summer fruiting raspberries, these older canes here, look, which have gone more discoloured than these ones. They're brittle compared to the other ones. You can tell which are the older ones. So I'm just going to take those older ones out through all of here, and try and get them in this bucket as well. Perhaps get in there with the loppers, chop it up a bit finer, and then get in there, get it on top of the compost, and then pop some more materials on top. So yeah, got a bit to do through here, but it shouldn't take too long. There's not too many old stems, but I'll get cracking again. All these raspberries all pruned back to where I want to at the moment. I've left a few autumn ones along here with longer stems on, like I say, see what happens. Some of the ones through here, I've pruned back everything what I think. Saying that, I can see one there what I've left. Just get in there for a bit of a close look. You can tell that one there with the branches coming from it is looking a lot older than ones next to it, which haven't got no branches coming from it. So I've missed one there, but if you're unsure, it's best to leave them, because if you chop all your summer fruiting right down, you're not going to get no fruit for next year. So just have a little look at this little Calicarpa Bodinii profusion with the tiny little berries on it. But yeah, blowing around in the wind, it's getting really windy. Anyway, so what I've done, I've got all these clippings here from the raspberries, which pretty much fitted all in that bucket, just about. I'm just going to lay them on top here, and then try and get some of this material in here, which I've just taken off the lid, and you can see it's got red wrigglers in it. And yeah, this stuff's looking quite composted. There's a little hole down in the corner where Mr. Rat's been in. But yeah, I'm just gonna sprinkle the raspberry canes on here, put some of this into here with a wiggle finger going like mental. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and dig some of that out to put under the broccoli. There's a pigeon in there for a minute. Right, so I'm just going to lay all this on here. Hope you can hear me. But all these twiggy bits all over at the top now. When I turn it, obviously all this is going to be at the bottom, which is going to help keep a lot of air in it and hopefully stop the bottom from going anaerobic. That's the plan anyway, fingers crossed. Yeah, so just want to... Oh, there's plenty of worms in here, look. That's mostly like leaf mould on there. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know if I can, oh actually I might be able to get down to the decent compost today, but I might have to wait for this to shrink down a little bit more. I'm just trying to get these clump leaves a little bit more air in them. So I don't want to hurt the worms. I think parts of it I'm starting to get down to a bit more of compost what's ready to use, especially in that back corner. It's looking pretty good. There's a lot of stuff on here that's not been decomposed, but there's lots of worms in it, and I kind of wish now, after watching Terry's video, Terry King, little asparagus berries, I wish I'd have saved some and planted some, because I'm thinking of doing another asparagus bed. But hopefully I'll get some volunteers coming up. Give me asparagus bed. Actually, that's looking pretty good under there. Looks like a load of leek seedlings there. I'm happy with that. I'll take you over and show what we've got left. Spin you around with gloves on. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so I've pretty much cleared most of the stuff what's, I mean obviously there's still some leaves and bits in there, but this isn't looking too bad in here now. There's still twigs and what have you, but I think I could probably get away with putting that around by the broccoli, and then in the spring, or when all the broccoli is dead and everything, or when we plant it, chop all the broccoli down and just rake it all over and put all these big bits out. But I think that's going to be good to pop on there. I'll get the lids back on these. There's plenty of worms and what have you. There's a few asparagus seeds in there, which hopefully, like I say, will germinate. Oh, a potato down here. I'll perhaps leave that, see what happens. You never know. It'll probably get frosted off, but it might regrow in the spring. All good. Right, I'll pop the lids back on here and let's get some compost from here to go on the broccoli. Okay, so before I start filling that blue container up full of compost, we'll have a little look at the broccoli. Well, still growing over winter. I mean, look at them beautiful little spears there. Let me get it in focus for you. There you go. There's some nice looking broccoli on here. Absolute result. Absolutely love broccoli. So I've opened up this broccoli cage here, and yeah, I'm quite chuffed. There's quite a few little bits of broccoli. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not massive or anything, but there's quite a few decent spears in here which I wasn't expecting to get. So let's just trim them off. Spin you around, put you down over here, and make sure I don't knock the camera over. But yeah, these Sen Green secateurs are really good. Quite pleased with them, really. Excellent Christmas present. I'm gonna pick. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not massive or anything, but let's get you for a closer look. In fact, down here, got a little hole there, another little hole over there, so I want to get some compost, pop down those little holes. Oh God, the compost bin keeps falling over. Well, I'm just going to cut these anyway. Ooh, okay, that's broccoli picked. I've got a few little spears in there, that'll do for dinner later on. Happy with that. I've got to put that somewhere where it don't blow away though. Right, so I'm hoping to get just 2 or 3 containers of compost just flicked in there really. And chuck a bit in there and spread it about. Okay, so that's all this bed mulched up with some compost. It should protect it. I mean, it's still quite mild. I wouldn't put it down if it was cold and frosty, but it's really mild still at the moment. So yeah, just put this down to protect the soil, feed the soil life, which will in turn feed the plants. But yeah, so that's got that all nicely mulched, and that should be all good for spring. Just got to get this side closed back down now. I've give this little bit of compost pile here a bit of a flick round, a bit of a turn. A few bits around the edges were a little bit dry, so I just incorporated it in a little bit. But hopefully this one will drop down in the next few days. So if I've got any more materials coming, it will go on that one for now, because this stuff in here is pretty good, and if I need any compost for any potting on or anything, or any potatoes or anything soon, then I don't really want to have to cover it all to get some out. But what I do want to do today is get a little container full of leaf mould and a little container full of this compost, which has been dug out a couple of months ago, just so I can start putting some stuff on at home. So that's the compost in there. Got the leaf mould in here, if I can get the lid off. Crikey, there we go. So yeah, the leaf mould's in here. That it's not 100% done yet, but there's plenty in there, but it is done. Well, it is ready. I've got a little seed germinating in it down there. So yeah, just going to leave these lids off, get that sorted out. Just put them in some fabric, I think they're 16 litre pots, and hopefully I'll be able to get some worm castings out from here as well. So I want worm castings, leaf mould and compost, so I can mix my own seedling mix up as well. It's so windy here, everything's getting blown all over the place. I'll bring you back in a minute when I'm done. Done today. I've got a load of Got homemade compost here, which has got red wrigglers in it. This is the worm castings, or some of it, from the strawberry bed worm farm, and that's quite claggy in there. And this is the leaf mould in here, and those three combined, I think it's about 20% leaf mould, 20% worm castings, maybe about 50% compost and 10% vermiculite, something like that, and you'll have a perfect seedling mix, potting on mix. So that's what I'm going to be using soon. Obviously it's all got to be sifted and that yet, and I've got to get some vermiculite and perlite, but hopefully I'll be getting some seed sown soon. So if you want to see that, please subscribe. And yeah, it's New Year's Eve tonight, so I hope nobody goes out and get too drunk and everything. I don't think I'll be going out tonight, just staying in. But yeah, thanks for joining me. And in fact, actually before I go, I'll give you a quick update on what's going on with the garlic. Down here I've got one hard neck which is just poking through just there. Can't see any more in here of the hard neck. The soft neck's coming through okay. Down through there, the hard neck, can't see any underneath the cloche. But some of the onions now are all coming through quite well. Yeah, there's a mole been poking his head up in there a little bit as well, but he's not causing too much damage. And yeah, I'll probably give that another mulch up with some compost once the onions come through a bit more in the spring. Just give them a bit more of a feed and everything. Broad beans coming through okay, not really been hammered by the frost, because like I say, it's been quite mild. Calendula still flowering. I was watching Izzy's secret vegetable plot, or secret garden, I can't remember which one it is, but I'll put a link to Izzy's channel in the description. She had calendula growing as well, so please check out Izzy's channel. She's got a lovely little secret garden. And yeah, it's getting quite breezy out here now, so because I haven't got a microphone, I think I'll go. I haven't actually topped up this bed with compost actually this year. No, sorry, I did it at the very start of the year when I did all the garlic and everything. But this had lots of manure on it as well. So next time I come back, this will be getting topped up as well, I think. Which will probably be next week or so, after the new year. Oh, actually, yeah, before I need to go, I need to close this up, don't I? So yeah, thanks a lot for joining me. Like I say, have a good new year. Let's hope it's good for everyone. So thanks a lot for watching. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever you fancy, and good night.